same leg. I think it's better on the same leg. Yeah? But if they really want the... So we're using different sensory modalities here. Light touch is our first one. You know, someone's just gently tracing a line. So what is it that light touch evokes in our system? Huh? So, and it's very clear that he asks you to start in a position. The lesson asks you not to start there, which is not a standing leg, or it's not a leg lined up. It's very clearly asking people to find the position where the heel is in line with their toes. So I'm going up. I just did this. Karen, I did this a bit to your other leg before, so it'll be good to do this one. I use this in FI all the time. Feldenkrais uses it a lot. Have you ever seen any of his FIs where he's using rollers, rolling up and down someone's leg? Usually the back of their leg is where he will be doing it. It's exactly the same principle that he's using. This idea that I'm sort of ironing them out into the table. Sometimes he'll use the image of a steamroller, that something's coming along and literally ironing you into the ground. Steamroller might be a bit too strong an image, Madame. Okay, so here I am with Karen, and I'm starting on the back of her heel, and I'm simply going to trace for her this line up to the back of the knee and up to the back of her hip joint. So I'm just tracing this line. So it's a very light touch I'm using at the moment. So because it's light touch, what does that feel like, Karen? How does it draw your attention? Good question will be, does it have much meaning for you? Because different people respond to different touches. Then the next idea he said was that this finger is going to be sort of feeling for your bones. Can you imagine that would be a little bit different touch? And if I'm doing that to Karen, that would evoke in me much slower, probably not as continuous. I'd be sort of feeling a little bit. Can I feel your bone in there? Where do I get a sense of there's a bone in there? And I'm not thinking at the moment about mechanically, anatomically, where her bones are. I'm just sort of, is there a sense of a bone in there? Can you feel that's a different touch, Karen? No? But I'm still going pretty much for this vertical line. No? Have to. And vertical in my finger. But where it gets really important now is the ball. Huh? So the ball to me, and he uses this a lot when he's trying to give a sense of weightedness, of taking you to the ground. So there's particular lessons where he'll use lawn bowls as his thing to give the weightedness of the ball down, taking you down to the ground. So now, my organisation, I'm evoking the anti-gravity response now. I'm giving her a vertical force down, and I'm feeling, how does that give to the ground? How does that give to the ground? Does it give to the ground? And I feel this doesn't give to the ground. This, I can feel her ankle gives a little bit. There's just a tiny give. This not. So I can hang out and wait here a little bit, see does anything change. But I also know that that's not as clear in her image. If it doesn't know how to respond to a vertical force, it's not as clear in her image. And then I move up. This really gives. Can you feel the difference there, Karen? Yeah, it just gives. It's just like I go in and it just goes, oh, whew, that's gorgeous. Yeah? So this is about my organisation. I'm not pushing. Because this is anti-gravity, as I go down, I get taller. Yeah? I don't get smaller. I get taller. And I can work my way up. So I don't need to spend long when I can feel it gives, because I know she understands that. I'm not going to do directly behind the knee. This is really unclear here. I'm just going to hang out a little bit. Does it give? Because can you get the sense that what I'm doing is it's not about this is happening from her low back. I'm not asking her to stretch her leg or lengthen her leg. This is literally giving to the ground. Huh? Or lengthening. Yeah? Does that make sense? Yeah? Not even thinking about that, Anastasia. It is not. I'm giving her an anti-gravity response. That's what I'm interested in.
I guess it's definitely involved with joints.
It's the bone. It's the bone. The joints, obviously, are but it's the muscle that's giving around the bone that's... Because if it was the joint, she'd be doing that. She'd be... Because she's already long. She's already extended. So, yes, the joints will be giving a little bit, but it's the muscle. It's gravity. I'm evoking gravity. I'm saying, how much gravity could you cope with? Which is a really big one for you to understand.
And it's in this orientation.
But you can do this in any orientation. This is the thing that I'll send home parents with their babies who are having real trouble supporting themselves. And I'll just say, just do this with them. Literally, just give them ground, give them a sense of ground.
That's what fascinates me at the moment, is that you can evoke that response in this orientation and it transfers to that way of standing.
Because that's what's really important. These responses in our nervous system are there in any position. It's a vertical force. That's what we respond to. And we respond to it in lying, on our belly, on our back, in side lying, in sitting, in standing, on our knees. That vertical force is something that our system must understand. It's pivotal to being able to lift ourselves. Have a stand up now, Karen, and see how that feels. So I've only done her leg. You're going to do the arm and the leg. Just see, how does that feel, Karen? Bone. This will be people's experience. Something in my skeleton has woken up and I'm not having to do all that muscular work. Yeah? So this is absolutely brilliant for, you know, I'm thinking of people, I'll mimic a woman I know really well. She's so light on her feet that she hardly touches the ground. She doesn't know the ground. Do you know what I mean? This is where she lives the life up here. And it's absolutely wonderful for her to feel what her bones are. But it's also just as powerful for someone who's really heavy, that something like this gives them the lightness. So do you want to try that on each other? Yeah?
So that's the reason why I couldn't find the line.
That's why you couldn't find a line. Because you're doing all along the line, they're generalised. It widens the focus. Yeah. So Priscilla just asked a really good question. You know, does it get clearer with time? Absolutely. But it's moving along the line that does the work. Because you're generalising the bits that they know to the bits they don't know. No? I would keep doing right leg, left arm, unless the person really wants to do the other side, because there's quite a bit more to the lesson yet.